Hi everyone, you are welcome once again to our program. We are still on the issue of the transcript video of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, of which the prosecution witness with code named BBB resumed testimony focusing on a petition allegedly authored by the former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami SAN, and addressed to DSS. The prosecuting counsel, in the name of Awomolo SAN, the Nigerian Government Prosecution Council, led the evidence with the prosecution's witness with codenamed BBB. Many allegations were laid against the indigenous people of Biafran leader. It should be known that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a separatist leader, a freedom fighter who is seeking to separate Biafra from the Nigerian government. Therefore, they have certain rights when it comes to defense. Self-defense in every way is permitted in this very cause of separation from the state of Nigeria. It is well known, and there are international humanitarian laws guiding this. According to the prosecution witness and their chief counsel, laid on the following through various broadcasts. This is sectionalized according to Mark Media summary. First, to the Fulani issue, the Fulani domination. No Fulani parading as his men shall be allowed in our land. Establishment of Eastern Security Network, meant to deter the Fulanis in the bush from attacking women, children, fathers, mothers, including raping them and killing them in their farms, for objecting for the hitmen to graze in their farms. And finally, Fulani ethnic group wants to take over the entire country as they took over Hausa territories. These are the ones concerning the Fulanis, and these are where their angers lies, that they were not allowed into the southeast of Nigeria for their hitmen to graze their farms and kill the people. That is spooked. Then we move to the southwest, mainly Lagos, where it is stated during the NSAS movement that he said, burn down that terrible hotel, go into the bush, collect policemen's gun and kill them, go and burn down Lagos, and finally set Murtala Muhammad Airport on fire. In the southeast, he declared sit-at-home situation in the southeast tomorrow. This is based on the May Day 30th, when they remembered the fallen heroes of Biafrans, which they celebrated and prayed for the departed, and also those who are living, including the wounded and the disabled, caused by the civil war. This angered the federal government of Muhammadu Buhari, who sent military to go and kill them. In our previous video publication, we showed that, according to the report from the Voice of America and Amnesty International, on that very date, they reported that at least 150 Biafran separatists who were celebrating their May Day were gunned down by the Nigerian security agencies. The sit-at-home also angered the southeastern governors, who refused that their own heroes, their own people who were massacred, over 6 million people massacred, need no prayers, need no remembrance, need nothing but to invite the military to kill those who deem it necessary to do so. And those who deem it necessary are the Biafran separatists, or those who are canvassing for restoration of Biafra. They are the self-determination group. They have right to do that. According to international and humanitarian law, they have every right to do that without molestation, without the state party killing them for doing that for their own heroes. It is the essence of self-determination. According to the 2001 Oxford University Press publication, Self-Determination and the Civil War, authored by Walter G. Weiner, in his introduction, he stated, and I quote, "Many concepts and rules regarding internal armed conflict were considered and redefined. Insurgents fighting for lawful exercise of the right of self-determination were characterized as liberation movement entitled to seek and receive outside support for their legitimate struggle, whereas the government's fighting liberation movement were regarded as violators of fundamental international norms rather than lawful representation of the state," unquote. However, the United Nations Declaration on the Right of Indigenous People, Article 3, establishes that indigenous people have the right to self-determination. By virtue of this right, they are freely out to determine their own political status and freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. According to the article, which strengthened that indigenous people face eviction from their ancestral land. And this is that which the Fulani Hitmen and the terrorists among them are doing daily, killing people from one state to the other, taking over their land and sending the indigenous people into the IDP camp, and which was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's contention. However, these rights fall under the umbrella term self-determination, a binding right in international law which refers to peoples freely determining their political status and pursuing their economic, social, and cultural development. It is embedded in legal instruments such as United Nations Declaration on Rights of Indigenous People, designed to address the impact of colonialism on indigenous people. Therefore, Justice Omotosho is undertaking not only the issue of allegation, the allegation is tied up on the right to self-determination and the freedom for the southeastern region of Nigeria, who have been marginalized and subjugated. This self-determination is only possible if the people or the indigenous people realize that they are subjugated and exploited by the power that occupied the place. A right of succession may arise, and this is exactly what has arisen based on many factors calculated by both the indigenous people of Biafra, the cries of political elites in denial of all their right to various positions in the country. In carrying out this project of self-determination, there had always been conflicts. And under the international humanitarian law, the notion of self-determination is relevant in classifications of conflict that may arise. And this conflict and the struggle is always regarded as national liberation war, which is, on the other hand, what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is using his broadcast for self-defense and political campaign to strengthen the liberation movement and also protect the people as it is stated under international law. It is the duty of the Defense Council to arrange and address the transcripts that came out from the broadcast. It is not a big deal. It is something that has been stated under the international law. That is why in this very video, it is captioned that Omotosho is not only dealing with the allegations of, he is treating international law under this very case he is handling. That is why United Nations Human Rights Group are watching and seeing how the case will go, because Nnamdi Kanu is recognized as human rights activist and leader of a self-separation movement with liberation movement on his arms, just like Nelson Mandela of old South Africa, Sam Nujoma and Herman Adimba Tovio of Namibia, Robert Mugabe and Joshua Nkomo of the present-day Zimbabwe. In the old time, it was Southern Rhodesia. It is always the southern part of any country that the oppressors always oppress. The colonialists always oppress them because of their mineral resources God has blessed them with. They always want to take it away from them and subjugate them and keep them perpetually poor and punish them for being blessed by God. You find out that these countries that have suffered this, one, the Zimbabweans, to the Namibians, South Africa. All these are the countries that have passed through this heinous subjugation. Their leaders accused, subjected to terrorism allegations, punished for liberation of their people. But at the end of the day, they all got the independence which they suffered and liberated their people. That is what is being expected of Biafra. With this, we are telling the judge, Omotosho, to realize that he is in the same problem as a Southerner and the Yorubas under the threat of the Fulanis as well. With this, we come to the end of this very program. Do not fail to subscribe to this channel, like, share, and leave your comments. Until we come to you with another episode, let us watch together and see the development of this case. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. Bye.